Yeah, all I know is grind, I'ma go get it. Raise up in the gutter, but we all winners. Ain't no competition, barbecue dinner. Always pray to God, I won't be a quitter. Whenever there's a will, there's always a way. Ain't no looking back, no matter who pays. Gotta turn your head to what haters say. Mind your own business, get some money today.
Welcome back to another episode of the Rec Center Podcast. I'm Kenny Edwards, joined with my co-host Lorenzo Parham. Man, we got another banger today, boy. We've been holding back a little bit. Now, we done had some good ones over the years, but we've been holding back, and people have been like, man, what about this dude? What about this dude? This season is finna be banger after banger.
Hey, Ken, this guest we bringing on, I'm surprised he wasn't in our first, second, or third season. Ken, this is going to be a great one for all of our guests, right? We got my guy. He's been around for as long as I've been around. He done been in different sports, different segments. His story about to go crazy, and he got a good things and views to give to our younger audience, the kids, right? Who we try to reach, man. So I can't wait to get into this show today, man. Let me welcome my brother Quincy Bozeman on today, man. Q Bozeman. What's going on, Q?
Hey, what's up
Hey,
with
there
my
go
guys,
Q.
man?
There go Q.
Man, got Lorenzo Parham, aka Low. You know, got my boy Kenny, Big Kenny. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about today, man.
So Ken, Q, let me run it down to you what we're gonna be getting into today, right? We're gonna talk about what rec center you came from. We're gonna talk about your Oakland Babe Ruth days, right? Playing your umpiring days. We're gonna talk about when you were the number one junior high school point guard recruit and junior high school. We're going to talk about what happened in high school. Did you play? Did you not play? What curved that thing? And then Q, last but not least, Q, we're going to talk about that illustrious coaching AAU career you've been doing, man, with some of them great athletes, man. We got to hear some of their stories because they're getting ready to take off, right? So let's start. We go start, man, my man Ken. We go get it started, Ken. Let's go. What we got going on, Ken?
Before we get started, hey, everybody, we gotta have you click subscribe, like this episode, comment some of your best Quincy Bozeman stories, YouTube at the Rec Center Podcast or Instagram at the Rec Center Podcast to get some of this exclusive content. Man, Low.
Q, let's start it off, Q. Now, I know when I met you, where I met you at. Could have been Fruitvale Elementary School, Young America Baseball, Ken. But this is the Rec Center Podcast. What Rec Center did you come up playing under?
Well, I came under, let's make this, I came under Arroyo. Man, right there off of 80th at Arroyo Park. I started there playing T-ball. You know, I know I haven't really heard anybody talk about T-ball, but that's where I started at T-ball. It was a great experience. I think we lost to Brookfield in the championship 9-8. Rest in peace to my guy, Big Bear. He had passed away in a car accident with Devron that went to St. Mary's and transferred to Skyline. But you know, that's where I started.
Q, hold on. We got to back that up, Q. I said I met you at Fruitvale. You're from my section in Oakland. How did you end up at Arroyo Park? Who was taking you over there? Where did that come about? Was it a group thing? How did that go?
So Low, when I was 7, 8, 9, I was living on 80th at that point.
Okay.
At that time. And that was right across the street. You had Arroyo Park where I was watching the 14. That's where the 14-15s used to play all the time. And I would go over there and watch. It was a guy that just recently passed away, Marcus Tyner. I used to watch him pitch. I was like, damn, that could be me one day. You know, it was like that, like around that time. You know, but Arroyo Park was where I got noticed, and then we moved to the, to the Fruitvale area. Right after that, we stayed on 80th.
Okay, see, Ken, even you can know somebody for 35 years and still don't know this part of their story, Ken.
I didn't know either.
Which is why we do this, right? Because I didn't even know that, right? Okay, Q. So we T-ball, Arroyo Park T-ball, right? and we know what Arroyo. We didn't have so many of our guests that part of the Arroyo Park rec center thing, right? But Ken, one of the things we used to talk about in the beginning of our shows was, is Arroyo Park in the running for one of the best rec centers to come
It's
out?
up there with Bushrod. It seemed like, because I mean, Gino was there, and Kareem Tony was up there. All those guys was over at Arroyo. But now you get Bushrod. North Oakland was popping.
Okay, okay. That we gonna have to still
But
do our
I'm
homework.
gonna have to get some Rainbow Rec dudes on there. You know, that's my spot. So I'm gonna have to bring on some dudes that brought up with Rainbow.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one too. I mean, and don't forget about Brookfield, man. All right,
Brookfield for sure. Yeah. Hey. We gonna have to comment down below. What's the number one rec center in Oakland? Is it Brookfield? Is it Arroyo? Is it Rainbow? Is it Bushrod? Manzanita? What's number one? Allendale?
Hey, we go comment down below, like Ken said. We always good for a great debate in the comments, right? But going in Arroyo, being in there, did you end up playing flag football at Arroyo? Did you? I never knew you to play football. Q, like, was that not your part of your story?
Oh, hold up. Let me tell y'all something. Me, football, I had hands. So here's the thing. I did play for I played for my elementary school at that time, which was Horseman. I went to Horseman too in the 50s. And we played like Brookdale and all those guys. But I had really good hands. My quarterback, like growing up, like, playing on the street, was Cahill Jones. Cahill could tell anybody right now my hands was nice. I just didn't play because my dad wanted me to focus on baseball, and he felt like my brother Tavion Bozeman was more aggressive for football.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sonny, man. Shout out to Sonny Bozeman. Rest in peace to your pops, man. He
Yeah.
always treated us all when he saw us like a son.
Yeah.
No different between how he treated you versus how he treated me, myself. So shout out to Sonny Bozeman, man, for understanding that, man. Sometimes we talked about in our last episode, you got to know your kids. You got to know your kids.
Hey, that's real.
We got to know Q wasn't the football guy, right?
The football
It wasn't his thing, right? Hey, definitely, man. So Q. So Q, we know you went from Arroyo Park, T-ball, horseman, flag football, all this thing, but then you went to this Oakland Babe Ruth guy and spent years in Oakland Babe Ruth, right? Let us know, how did you get your start in Oakland Babe Ruth, man? And what team you started with?
Well, you know what? Right before I go right into Oakland Babe Ruth, just real quick, I can't forget about Fruitvale. And Fruitvale, when I moved to the 30s, is where I did play flag football as well. I almost forgot that one, but I want to make sure I shout out Fruitvale. But getting into Oakland Babe Ruth, guys, I started off with Duvernay. I went to a fudging practice, and they told me I wasn't good enough, and I need to go to Duvernay.
How old were you, Q, when you got into Oakland Babe Ruth? How old were you? What level were you playing at?
I was 11 years old. I was 11.
You went straight to majors?
I went straight into majors, it was tough.
Oh, man.
Hey, Q, let me tell you something. Q,
I'm like fudging like the Yankees.
I wasn't there, Q. I wasn't there.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't a coach. I was a kid. I don't know anything, but I understand why you got sent to Duvernay when you just pop up at fudging.
Fudging, that's like going straight to the Yankees.
Well, so here's the thing, and they had and it's a trip because I wonder if like Omari and them kind of really remember when I came to the first practice, and I remember their father, Mr. Murphy. He was cool. My dad was like, all right, we'll try here, but they were loaded, and at this point, I didn't know who was who. I was just like, damn, everybody get hit, everybody get field. I'm nervous, I'm nervous. And so then he was cool because he was like, they had just left Duvernay, and he felt like I should go to Duvernay. And then that's where I went to Duvernay, and I met on that team was like Oliver, Cardell Eatman, rest in peace. We had some of the guys that were 12s, like Randy Taylor, those guys. Jared, this one guy named Jerry went to Bishop O'Dowd. His dad was the coach, and they gave me that opportunity.
And Duvernay ain't bad though. Duvernay ain't like going to Stingrays.
Yeah. No.
Hey, how do Stingray just catch that straight from you though, Ken? That's a straight. Stingray just caught a straight, man. What Stingrays had nothing to do with this conversation, right? Hey, right? Shout out to Sean, right? Hey, yes. But you, how was the adjustment? How was that adjustment for you going to Duvernay first year playing? You still playing with all these guys. How was it in that first year at 11 when you went to go do that? What was it like?
So what was like, you show up to a field, nobody knows you, right? And, me, I'm a smiley person. I'm smiling. I'm just trying to figure, if I want to play second base, right field, they got me going everywhere to see if I could play. Then they asked me one thing I'll never forget. My coach at that time was Herschel. And he was like, can you catch? I said, but I'm thinking he's talking about catch the ball. I'm like, yeah. He said, go put the gear on. I put a gear on, I said, no, I can't back catch, I can't back catch, I'm like, that's not me. And he was like, well, you told me you could catch. I said, what? I'm thinking you talking about catch a ball. And then he made me run because he thought I was being, thought I was being one of those players and stuff. So then he was like, all right, well, you go where you could play. And I went to second base. And at that time, it was me, Renee Jocks, which was our youngest player on that team. He was the youngest. Renee was 10 years old, y'all, and he was good. And it was me, Renee, and it was just me and Renee at that position, fight for some innings,
So Q, I know you came in 11 at Duvernay. When I met you, I think you was playing on Crowell. If that's something it's been years, something I'm mistaken. Did you once play for Crowell? Give me the breakdown of what went from Duvernay to Crowell. Help me out.
Okay, so after majors, we merged with Allen Temple, and we became we was Allen Temple Angels for 13s, and that's when you had all the team. At that time, that's when we had merged, and then we were trying to put some pieces together. But some people went to the Royals. Remember, Fudging became the Royals, right? At Preps. So when Fudging became the Royals, Oliver goes to Royals. We start losing players. But Cardell and me, we stayed, like some of the core. But we wasn't that good because we had to pay. Remember Central? You guys remember Central?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Central, that was our organization.
So that was Cobras and White Sox and all that, right?
Yeah.
Spray Mark. I mean, that was just the whole pipeline. And, I think from there, we wasn't too good at 13s. And then 14.
Before I let you keep going any further, though, right? We went from 11 to 13. What was that 12-year-old year like? Now it's your second year in Babe Ruth. Now you know the guys, right? You know the people. You know who the dogs are, who good. What was your like that 12-year-old year? Now you're the older person in the division. What was that like?
So what was that like? Was like, yeah, you become the older guy, but then also I show up to practice. I'm 10 times better. My dad took me out. And shout out to Tavion, because Tavion was a better player. He was a better player. People was talking about Tavion, and Tavion was the reason why I got attention on me. So I got to take it back there because Tavion had got selected to the T-Ball All-Star with Alvin Curtin. Alvin Curtin, you guys remember that? Alvin Curtin, and then the mayor had to select you. So you got a certificate. And I remember he got the certificate from the mayor being selected to the T-Ball All-Star team. Aliu Harris at the time.
Hey, shout out to Tavion though, Q, because let me tell you something, Q, me like Tavion also made people knew my big brother because of me, right? Yes. The things we do for our big brother, right? I don't think he ever became an all-star, Q, but people knew like, oh, that's low brother, right? That's low brother, right? Yeah. Hey, shout out to Tavion for that, Q, man. So now we know you built this luxurious career with the baseball thing, and then you became an umpire, right? Then you start umpiring Babe Ruth. Q. We all used to umpire Babe Ruth. It was our spring job, right? They gave us jobs. Sometimes we paid to go to proms and homecomings or whatever we did. We used that money from umpiring. Q. You did it a little better, a little more professional than a lot of us, right? I'm gonna ask you before I let you talk about your umpiring journey because you saw so many different players. being that person that played all-star all these eras in Babe Ruth, and then you umpire these eras in Babe Ruth, I need you to give us a non-biased Quincy Bozeman top 5 Oakland Babe Ruth players from your opinion.
Okay. Damn, y'all really gonna do this to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
God, this is what the rec is all about. You know what? I'm gonna give it to you.
Let me hear it.
Are we talking about the players I played with, or the kids that I umpired?
Both. You saw some of the best. Let us hear it.
Okay, off top. Yeah, well, like Marcus Tyner for sure. You know, seeing him. I would say after that, Michael Whitlock. Michael Whitlock. Tony Johnson. And I'm just going down from years too. Definitely Jimmy. Definitely Jimmy Rollins. And
hold on, Q. Wait. Pick this last one carefully, right? Because this anytime we do a list, me and Ken, it's oh man, I don't fool with Q no more because he didn't pick me on his list, right? Pick this last one carefully, Q, because you got a lot of names to pick from right now.
Well, you guys know how Oakland was. I mean, it was a top 5 for a top 5 for a top 5 for a top 5. But I think this last one, man, I might shock a lot of people with this one. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Waiting on you.
Anthony Limbrick.
Bob.
Hey.
Right? Hey, now let me tell you something, Ken. Right? Now we can ask this Oakland Babe Ruth question to anybody, and everybody 5 can look different, right?
Yeah.
But when we do ask this question, we do have a consistent person on there. The consistent person is 2 consistent people. It's Tony Johnson and Jimmy Rollins, right? That's the consistency on all of it, right? A person you forgot that always be on everybody's list. The 3rd consistent person is Antoine Thomason.
Oh, you know what? And that's my family. With no due respect, I mean, Uncle Hank was the best coach, right? Well, if we went there, he was the best coach that ever probably came through Oakland Babe Ruth that I see, right? I definitely, for sure. If not even him, I give y'all a one that make you think. Don Don.
I knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say Don Don.
Don Don. I tell y'all, Don Don was worth $1 million in my. I used to say, man, that kid's a hell of an athlete. You know, he was good.
So,
he could do everything.
Well, okay. Well, what about younger than that, Q? Because I know we umpired together. Tyson Ross.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna go there. Tyson Ross for sure. Oh, Joe Ross.
Delancey.
Huh?
Delancey.
Oh my God, Delancey. He was
AJ.
He was a monster.
AJ.
Yes. Delancey. He was where did he wind up going?
I think he went to O'Dowd and then
he went to Bishop O'Dowd, right? Okay. And then there's one person we ain't forgetting because I played in my era I played in, right? And we still have T-Tone and Mike Denard, Tavaro McIntyre. You can't go wrong with any of these lists. And
no, you know what? Shout out to where they from, the Village, right? You know, where we played right across the street. Well, so let me give them their credit right there. But no, without a doubt. But see, if you say that, what about Atari Collin?
Atari Collin?
Yeah.
Atari Collin.
Atari was my
top 5 though. Top 5. Like I agree with your list. Like I don't really have no argument with your list. I think it can, you can put people in and out, but that was a solid 5. Like I don't have a problem with that. But these are just other names that's like, man, think about this. It's really just a testament to the talent that's come through here.
Omari Murphy, like it's debatable, right? It's debatable.
Yeah. Oh, if people without a doubt. That's why when you say top 5, I mean it makes you think because I only got so much time to think about it. But those are the ones that came to my head. But, definitely the ones, definitely like the Tyson Rosses and them, they went pro because they were good, but everybody was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had 4. Remember, you guys got to remember, we had 4 all-star teams, maybe 4, right? We had the Continental Division, National 2, National 1, and American. We had 4. Them teams could have went all across the country and spanked everybody's butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But while we on umpiring though, I can't get through this segment. I'm not gonna let us get through this segment without talking about Billy Green and Billy Martin. Like if we talking about umpiring, okay, 4 people. If we talking about umpiring for me, Billy Green,
yes,
Billy Martin,
yes,
QB, Quincy Bozeman,
it gotta be
and Jerry.
It gotta be Jerry.
You can't get through an umpiring segment without those 4 names.
Well, we put on the show, man. We put on the show. That's what it was all about. Like, don't get me wrong, Billy Martin used to make me be professional. Like,
yeah, he's the
dance, he wanted me to be conservative. But I had my own way of striking people out. I used to, we used to shake it when they wasn't there. But now, when you have to work with Bill Green and Billy Martin, you have to be on your A game. And I think if I was on my A game, y'all, I could have been a major league umpire. I could have been
a lot of us.
Umpire. Right?
Yeah, I agree. A lot of us, because like you said, when Billy Green and Billy Martin was your partner, you got to have your positioning, you got to have your fundamental with your calls got to be tight.
Yeah,
all of that. Now, when you umpiring with Quincy or Jerry, Jerry gonna sing strike 3, Quincy gonna dance.
I'm a dance man,
and that's only if they go behind the plate. When I walk up and I see them 2, I'm like, I know they finna put me behind the plate. It's like 95 degrees out here.
Hey, but Q, before I got to go to the next subject, man, shout out to all of them people, man, that was able to umpire, man. Billy Martin, Billy Green, they gave us money to help keep us out of the streets. Remember those Mondays after we got to go pick our money up at Concordia? Mondays that we
everybody show up on Monday.
Well, you got to think, guys. When you showed up on Monday, you got your money, right?
Cash.
You got your money. You got paid, right? But some people left broke. Guess we had dice games. We had dice games. And the reality is, I've seen people get their money, and then I seen you, Lo, break up a dice game, and I seen people feel bad. I just didn't bet against you. I bet with you. That's why I'm doing it.
We gotta get a whole spectrum. The meetings is once a week at Concordia.
Yes.
You get your money and you get your next set of games.
Man.
And if you was late or messed up the week before, you don't get no games.
But I got to go to the next subject because we got to get Q out of here. He's an important AAU basketball coach now. Q just said one of the best things that our audience needs to know. No, he said, Lo, I just knew not to bet against you. I bet with you. If y'all want to win in life, bet on Lo. That's the segment. We got the segment, right?
Done deal.
But Q, let me tell you this, though. Then we get to high school. We didn't know you didn't umpire. You played t-ball, baseball, all-stars in this wonderful league. Then you become the point guard of Oakland on a really good Bret Hart basketball team, alternity. How did you get into the basketball portion of it?
Well, I didn't have no trainer, right? So I didn't have no trainer. So I went outside. I was just shooting. I mean, at recess, everybody, from recess or at lunch or whatever, right? Everybody started hooping. I want to hoop too, right? We athletes, right? All we got to do is just work on something. And we was teaching ourselves at that time. So I didn't know what the hell the crossover was. So I just worked on my jump shot, my handles. I remember I had a coach named Coach Brown at Bret Hart. He said, man, you got to develop a left hand. I said, what are you talking about? He said, no, you got to dribble with your left. You only go right. And that's when I began to get better. But it took like people like Jomar Tate, Shamari Beverly, Tabiti Lockhart, which was a good one. It took your brother too. Your brother was another one, man. Shout out to Melvin Parham, aka Daffy. I mean, Daff got higher on the depth chart than me. Daff had some good games. Yeah. But it took us. It was a brotherhood, man. We was competing, and we did really good. That Bret Hart team was really good, spanking everybody except King of States at that time, No.
I don't think y'all beat Edna McChesney. Y'all didn't beat Edna McChesney.
Well,
I was there. Y'all didn't beat him.
He hit us with the game winner. It was Costin. Marco hit a half court to beat us in the playoffs and sent us home in our underwear, basically.
Right. But it's just not Marco on that team, right?
Oh, no, Marshawn Ferris. Ed too. Ed was nice.
Ed
And
Wally.
Wally.
Ed Wally was nice. That team was
So
nice.
That's basically Oakland High.
Yeah,
pretty much,
yeah.
right?
And they
And,
buff ass coach.
hey, but here you go with the think about that, right? In
Uh-huh.
junior high, they lost to Bret Hart, went on his run, lost to King of States. But then McChesney had Ed Wiley and they had Marshawn, who we debated on our top 25 list, right? There we
Mhm.
go with the talent that we had in junior high school in Oakland, right? Or
Mhm.
this spread around, right?
Mhm.
Do you see it? And you in the junior high sector now? Still, your son just came out of junior high. My
Mhm.
son been in high school a couple years. Do you
Mhm.
still see the talent like that across the board in junior high, or is it like stacked teams on stacked teams?
Oh well, yeah, it's stacked teams on stacked teams. Uh, yeah, it's not spread out like you used to. You know,
Mm.
it's not spread out like you used to at all. Um, now everybody want to go play with everybody, but now parents are sending their kids to school because they know so and so there. You know, it's nobody gonna say, "Hey, you go here, you go carry." No, that shit's. I mean, I'm sorry, that shit's gone.
Okay. But so let me ask you this, Q. Now we going back to junior high. How did you get the balancing right? Because things in the junior high we went to, it was easy to be distracted, right? We had so many outside factors that could distract us from what it is that we were doing. Were you able to stay focused, or did any of these distractions come up with you in junior high to where you be like, yeah, might be a little cool off this right now?
No, junior high was the best time of my life. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I'll be honest. Like, well, not so much on the academic side like that, but sports. Like, the brotherhood was just like unbelievable. And then I had both parents in the house at that time, and everything was just clicking. It was clicking. You couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to college.
All right, Q. I'm playing at Bret Hart, man, and I played at Bret Hart too, a couple grades younger than you. And even on that team, I saw people that I thought automatically was going pro. We had Marcus Malone, John Coleman. We had a couple other players. Anybody on your team you looked at and was like, "Hey, this dude gonna go pro in this basketball stuff. I know it."
Oh, absolutely. One was Webb, aka the real Jomar Tate. I thought he was everything in basketball. I know he came from the Rebels back. He had an Oakland Rebels background. For me, you played Rebels at that time. You was one of the top 10 kids in the whole city at that age group because they didn't take everybody. And then I can't forget about Shamari Beverly.
I
Yeah,
knew Shamari Beverly was going to go pro. The dude was so raw in basketball, right? But the crazy
yeah,
thing, his talent level, he did get drafted to go play baseball, right? He did get
yeah.
drafted to play baseball. You know what I'm saying? But what did
Hmm.
you see with Shamari as a basketball player? Like, was he just because one thing Shamari did, he played up. He wasn't in your grade level. He played
Yeah,
upper grade, right? Did you
yeah.
see any intangibles where you was like, damn, Shamari got it?
Oh yeah, like today, kids gotta train to have those type of skills. Like he was just natural. Like he was doing some stuff. Now I go back and I think about what I see today. He had a lot of those. He had a lot of those that talent.
Nice.
You think the training is helping the kids, or you think it's hint? Well, like, what's your take on like the personal training and all the weird ass drills they be doing now?
Some of the skills work. It's the guy Marquise Chandler that's coming back, and he sends a really good message about training now. And I think the concept that he has, it really, really, I think he's onto it. I just think majority is the pump fake, right? Pump fake. What they gonna do? Jump, right? One step shot. I mean, I think it's hella ways to get to the basket to score. I think all the extra moves and stuff like that, I think it's creating a lot of kids of being selfish. That makes sense? They
Yeah,
got the ball in their hand. They dribble, dribble, dribble. Then what happened to moving the ball, pass it, cutting, pump fake, an easy drive to the basket. Then you can add the Euro step and all this other
But
stuff.
hold on, Q. Hold on, wait. Before we get to that, a wonderful breakdown of coaching, right? Those are coaching things, right? Before we get to that coaching thing, right?
Yeah.
And shout out to Shamari, who was ahead of his time with his skill set. right? Before we get into the coaching aspect of it, because we want to finish that up with that, right? Because that's some good stuff right there. I paid a trainer for my son when he played basketball, right? Because I'm like, yo, you got to have basketball natural. If it ain't natural, I'm not paying a trainer. You go do some layups, go do 100 layups, 100 jumpers. You go be better, right? So, but before we get into that, man, I want to talk about this high school, right, Q? Because you know you went to Skyline, and I'm lost in time. I don't know if you played. I don't know if you played baseball at Skyline. Did you try out for the hoop team, right? Give us the high school breakdown because you was going to Skyline where there was a lot of athletes there as well. So what was did you play? What was going on?
All right, so one thing is I didn't play, but I did play, right? So here how it worked. My dad had left the house when I was 15. So when he left the house, he left mom's pretty much dry, right? Me, my brother, and my mom. And at that point, I had to figure out what's the next move because we needed more money in the house because my mom was paying rent. So what I did was I hit one of my cousins up and I wound up getting a bundle. And we know what that bundle is. And I hit the streets. And when I hit the streets, I lost focus with my academics. And academics became secondary. But then, too, I still wanted to play sports. So I tried out, made the team at Skyline, but was ineligible when grades came out. So I didn't play. So I can't blame my mom or my dad. I just was a young man trying to make it.
A lot of people don't talk about that, Q, like what happens during a separation at the most pivotal part of your life, right? Parents separate the most pivotal part of your life. What does that next step look like, right? Not knowing, we have a mentality that we got to go. We got to go figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But we don't deal with the emotional aspect of it is a big thing now, right? What was that emotional feeling knowing this is what you had to go do now? It took you from being a kid to a grown up.
It took me to understanding what responsibility was at 15, turning 16, and seeing your dreams go away. Fast money was good money at that time, and you got Daffy, you got Jerry, you got brothers like that was just around me at that time. Clarence, rest in peace, Clarence. I mean, we were just a tight net, and I mean those guys made it always feel like I was still playing. Frankie didn't play because of grades, and it could have been more hanging around me. Who knows?
Let me ask you this though, Q, because stepping off and have to become a man earlier than what you should have still been focused as a 15-year-old kid. But then you have a little brother, right, who is actually watching his big brother, right? Do you think that any influence on that made your little brother, Tavion, shout out Tavion, do anything because of what he was watching you do?
Yeah, so no, Tavion had more focus. I mean, he didn't want to be like me, but he just got caught into a situation that, put him somewhere that actually made him who he is today. So
Absolutely.
I felt like, by him going through his little situation, that was like major and very eye opening to me. But then I felt like it was my fault. I did. I mean, and y'all the first to know that. I always felt like it was my fault that he was in that situation. Then I could never blame my dad, but I just told myself it was me.
Me and Tavion became real close after that situation because he ended up getting ready to transfer to Tech. And when he getting ready to transfer to Tech to play football, who training him? Who he working out with? He working out with me, and we started going through it, man. We had Raymond Cleveland over there advocating for him as well, man. So I remember those things, man. And sometimes we don't talk about the influences that I'm pretty sure your older son have an influence on on his younger brother, right? So we don't really
Yeah.
talk about that much, right? But
Mhm.
Q, one of the main things of where you are right now in your life, right, is this coaching AAU stuff, right? AAU is big, right? And we say
Yeah.
AAU is big, and we talk about even in the Bay Area how big AAU is. Q, we've been watching over the years. Q, you have had your hands in it. How did you get involved in the AAU thing? Q, break it down to us. How did you get involved to it? Your first team you started with, then you start your own team, and then I want to hear about a couple of the guys you actually coach, part of your team, they're like number 1 and 2 in their class. Like we talking like
Yeah.
NIL about to be in the meal tickets coming soon. Q, talk
Right.
about them guys last and what development you saw of them. But how did you get into this coaching AAU?
So how I got into AAU was CYO. CYO. My sons were, just trying to get on the team, and somebody said, "Hey, in the area, oh, the CYO team, and it's in Pittsburgh. Shout out to Good Shepherd." And it was me and rest in peace, Big Mike Austin. He was me and him. We, our kids were out here, and they needed coaches. And the lady, man, I'm telling you, man, it's a lady. I forgot her name, but she had came up and she was like, "I think you should coach." And I was like, "Oh no," sitting in front of a lot of people, and she handpicked me. And we in a little church, like it was in a little Catholic church, and she's like, "No, I think you should. You gonna coach this team." So I wind up, taking off with that little group, and that little group became getting noticed. Somebody had noticed me from shout out to Rossi, Steve Arasawan. He wound up putting me on with an organization called Flight Elite out of Walnut Creek. Shout out to Flight, MVP Flight Elite out of Walnut Creek. And there's a guy named Yoruba Harrison, ex NFL guy, but he was already into that program. And he brought me in, and we had wound up building a little dynasty. And then from there, I took off and did my own thing.
Let me pause you there real quick though, Q, because my son plays CYO. And CYO is not the most competitive thing, right? Like I think Prince was averaging a double in CYO. Like he looked like, remember when Fresh Prince of Bel-Air played in the Catholic League and he averaging 50 points, and that looked what Prince was looking like, right? But when we went to go play AAU, he almost got cut almost, right? He said last man on the bench. How did you know that these kids from CYO was good enough to go even playing as AAU?
Well, they come after you. Like I say, at that point, they came for my son, and they came for Mike Austin's son, Micaiah Austin, and that's how we got in. And once my son, we was gonna go to Splash City. Shout out to Jules Malstad. Splash City was the first destination, and at that time, it just wasn't organized enough for that age group, and that's why we went over to MVP Flight.
Nice.
At that time. But no, I mean, other than that, that dude was rolling, and he gave my sons the first opportunity, showed them a whole bunch of stuff early to where we at today.
Okay, so before we get to where you're at today, when you started your own, what age level was your son, and what made you branched out, start your own AAU? What did you see in your vision when you did that? Like, what was the vision?
Oh, well, it was real simple. Have fun, no pressure, next play. That's just what it was. My thing was, I love these kids, and I can see the politics from other situations, right? And I just wanted to bring something different. I was kind of like X'd out of a situation. I'll put it like that. And it was cool because I had already said if I would do something, I'll try to do it myself, because parents was telling me, "I think you should start your own. We love you, Coach Q. You bring so much energy." But you got to understand, my dad was like this, just in a different sport. He was like this in baseball. That's why everybody wanted to play for him. Now everybody wants to play for me, so it's the same energy. I just see a lot of talent. I know how to develop the talent. I know how to get the best out of these kids. People can say, "Oh, well, he doesn't know this, he doesn't know that." Hey, that's a part of the plan. That's why it's called.
Let me ask you this though, Q. One of the big things that goes on in youth sports, right, is like once a kid plays for your team, it's like you are that kid belongs to you, right? So when they come play for you, they say Q stealing players. He stole my players, right? In AAU being like when my son played AAU, it was alert. I'm still an Oakland dude, right? So my son playing AAU, but I feel like I have to bring extra protection with me because way teams go, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy in AAU. Did you feel as if people ever thought like you stole their players because they came over to
Oh,
you? And how does that, what does that look like in the AAU world
hey,
now?
hey, you seen you guys seen it all on the social media when I first got in this. They was attacking me, man. They was attacking me, but they thought I was gonna be like some little sellout, little punk or something. They got me, I mean, some people just don't really know me. So the reality is that, and I never let things like that affect me because I was on my own mission, my own purpose. This is a purpose for me. You know what I'm saying, Lo? This, Kenny, this is a purpose for me. To help these kids and get these kids where they need to go. Because at the end of the day, it's not about taking a player, stealing a player. These parents got to make the decision on where they want their kids to go. If they feel like I'm a great start for their kids, that's where they're gonna go. But then you got these other guys coming behind. Hey, I want to give these kids this or give them that. I mean, you got guys giving kids tennis shoes. You got guys paying for trips, all type of stuff. So I mean, these kids basically is getting the NIL deals without getting real NIL deals. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this, Q. We know you got is it Brandon McCoy and
Mm-hmm.
Stokes, right? They're number
Mm-hmm.
1 and 2 in
Yeah.
the country in their
Yeah.
age class, right? How
Yeah.
often how do people do agents come saying, hey, how do I get that kid? How do I get this kid? Let's not send him to college. Let's send him to overtime elite for a year. Whatever they do, right, Ken? I
Mhm.
mean, Q, you're gonna see way more than I would know, right? So as a
Yeah.
student, I'm trying to learn how does that type of situation work out and how did them guys develop to be where they are today?
Well, you know what? They were both very talented. You know, when you coach young men like that, you gotta push them. You gotta push them, right? Like if you just happy to have them, that ain't gonna work. You gotta push them. You gotta see them. You gotta make them sweat. You gotta make them mad. It's tough love, but it's real love. I think too that they parents have done a great job with their kids on making decisions that they make. Because for me, these people could come at me. Yeah, they come at me. They could come at me all day, but I always send it back to their parents because that's their kids. Some people want to get in the way and act like they want to be agents and stuff like that. That's just not no, that ain't that's just not gonna work like that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
you know,
Most definitely. Q, let me ask you this, right? One of the big topics of AAU, right? Let's say the kid that's really, really, really good, but can't
mhm.
afford to do AAU with the traveling and all of those things, right? Is them type of kids being pushed out of recruiting and all of those things because they don't have the resources?
That's a good one, Lo. Absolutely. A lot of people don't have the resources. I didn't have them at first. I'm telling I didn't have them at first. But do I have them now? Yes. I have them now. It's because of what I had before this next group that's coming in now, right? I got in my program, I got nine teams. Nine teams. And when high school come around, it's like 14 teams.
No, what I'm saying is like Q, if let's say you get a kid that's from 23rd and East 27th right now,
Oh,
parents
okay.
don't have the money to do this, right? But he's
Mhm.
really good. Is there a way a kid like that gets sponsored to your program to
Oh,
play for free? You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, no, we not just those type of kids, but there's other kids too. If you come in, you got some talent. Yeah, you're gonna have to scholarship that kid because
You got
now these parents know I ain't paying. But then too, for the kids that you want to help, that's just like, hey, I don't want to be in the streets or I don't want to be doing bad things. Yeah, we got some of those kids in our program. We got a few of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And most of the time we started this, I started coaching my son really young. I don't coach him no more, right? You
Mhm.
started this AAU with your with coaching because of your son. He was obviously playing. Your son is killing it, Q. What is he ranked in his 2028 class right now? I know he's ranked somewhere in 2028 class.
Yeah, yeah, no, he's definitely out there. The way they haven't really spent those rankings out, and
Okay.
like I told him, we not really focused on that piece of it. The thing is, if you ranked high, if you rank somewhere and he see you, he gonna come get you.
Absolutely. And he
That's where his focus at. That's why he's been killing. Like he's been killing every camp he's been going to. He's been killing. He has a mindset right now. Like I said, it's the underdog mentality, and that's just what we living off of right now because I know where he's trying to go, and like I told him, it's not gonna be easy, and that's for both my sons. You know, my oldest son, a little cute. You know, he put way more work in now. You know, because he see what his brother's doing, and now he's setting up his own path.
What's the excitement around Liberty basketball getting ready to go into this season, man? I think it kicks off in a couple months, man. You got next month is November, so you talking about Thanksgiving tournaments and stuff. What's the excitement around Liberty basketball right now?
Man, they're gonna be a little exciting little group. You know, they're gonna get out, they're gonna play fast. I mean, everybody's happy. You know, Brentwood, the city of Brentwood, has been very accepting. Our first choice, I mean, where they were gonna go was YV, Ignacio Valley. Shout out to the Coach Wu, great guy, just a great guy. Just didn't work out. We just had to find a situation that fit a little bit better for them. They made their decision, and I'm backing it.
Q, man. Hey, some of this is an amazing story, man. Knowing you for over 30 years of my life, man, watching you overcome everything, right? Never knew this whole situation about, you and Sonny leaving and everything like that,
Yeah,
coaching and all of these things that you then came over, right? And you then won, right? One of the
yeah.
biggest wins of your life, Q, and one of the biggest wins I know you proud of yourself is, man, beating of cancer. Q, tell me a little bit about that little first diagnosis to how you felt to where you are now and things like that.
So to tell you a little bit about that, I didn't know I had cancer at all until I did the stool sample. Yeah, guys, the stool sample. I think everybody out there, you don't have to be a male, you be a woman. Do your stool sample, send it in. Yeah, send it in. If you got kids, it's okay to do your own stool. Send it in. And then mine came back positive. And for me, I was like, oh, I was a little nervous. And then my kid's mom, she was like, I think we need to take the next step to see what this could be. And I wound up doing a colonoscopy. And then the colonoscopy is where they was able to find a tumor, you know. And I went in for another ostopy, is some other type of ostopy where they go in with a camera, and that was a lot of pain, and I was up. So the colonoscopy, they put you to sleep. The other one, you have to be up. And they went in with a camera, and I was able to see the tumor, and I almost passed out. And then after that, then that's when I started. I had to have surgery, and after surgery, I did my chemo, and that was the hardest part. That was the hardest part, the chemo.
How was that needing to be strong, right? As a father who boys is watching us and stuff like that, we have a thing where we want to be strong. We don't want to let our household that know how it's affecting us, right? And things like that, right? Then you got your boys was pretty young at the time, right? What was that
Yeah.
like as a father going through this thing and your boys and everything watching you?
Okay. Well, you know what? Too, I have four kids, so I want to
Okay.
make sure. I have another son, my youngest son Jeremiah. Jeremiah named him out of the Bible, Jeremiah Joshua Bozeman, and then I have a daughter, Talia. Uh, that's like my heart and soul. You know, she came after my mom passed that
Mm.
year. My mom's been gone for 7 years. She's 7 years old. So with them, that was like my motivation, pushing through chemo along with their moms, because she played a big part and really saved my whole life to this point. Yeah, real talk.
Nice, man.
Shout out to Latia. You feel me?
Absolutely. Q, one of the things when the news first broke, when you first posted about it, man, I know you have 5,000 Facebook friends, the max that you can have
Yeah,
on Facebook. You had all 5,000 Facebook friends have comments on you there for you. You
yeah,
had 10,000 Instagram friends, all 10,000 left comments, man. It just went to show, man, the love that people have for you, right? The kind of
yeah,
person you have and the way you have always been and the spirit that you had of the man, I'm gonna beat this type of thing, right?
yeah,
We never waver from knowing that Q is going to beat this, right? But
yeah,
as your friend, as your brother, it
yeah,
touched me to an emotional thing, right? To
yeah,
where I'm I'm getting emotional right now thinking about
yeah,
it, brother, because
yeah,
you're
yeah.
my
Me too.
bro, right?
Yeah,
And not wanting to know Damn, I really am getting emotional, right? Now I
No,
want to know you
mhm.
going through this thing, right? And things like that, man. And how family, right? We always want our family to be good, man. So when you pulled through with that and said, I'm done with it, no more chemo, man, it was a big, not just lift for yourself and your family, it was a lift for everybody, Q. Right.
Yeah,
You here, and
yeah,
you're still here to do this amazing work that you
yeah,
didn't did, man, and you continue to do, man. So shout out to you, Q, man. You my
yeah.
brother. I love you. I love
Love
you,
you too,
man.
man.
And I just want to see you keep doing what you're doing, Q, man.
Yeah,
And before because I'm getting emotional. I hate being
yeah.
vulnerable, Q,
Hey,
right?
I'm with you.
So Q, give us some final words, man, before I sign us off. Give us some final words, man, that you want to share with some of our guests, our younger audience, or whoever.
Man, so it's kind of be like a little keynote for everybody. Don't wait till somebody gets sick to give them their flowers or show them love. While we living and you happy and you healthy, that's when all the support should already be there. Don't wait till somebody gets sick because when people hear cancer, they think death. Some people, and I tell you, it is more than 50%. So always know and always do and always check on your people, man, because love is love. I'm telling y'all, love is love. And, and dieting right now is so important. We're losing people with, dying of heart attacks, cancer, mental health, all that stuff. But there's a way. There's a way. Put God first. I'm telling you, without Him, there's no way. Trust me. You got to have some faith.
Hey man, I want to wrap it up right here, man. Shout out to our
Yes,
guest, my brother Quincy Boseman, man. You
yes indeed.
guys jump into our comments, run over to our YouTube, the Rec Center podcast, like, comment, and subscribe. Right, we might have some controversial comments in here today. Leave a comment, right? Go over to our Instagram page at the Rec Center podcast as we move forward with this thing, man. Shout out to Quincy Boseman, man. My guy
Yeah.
Ken, y'all like, Lo, you don't never close the show out. Where Ken at? Ken had some technical audio difficulties that he was working through today, and he had to sign off, man. But my brother Ken to be back for the next episode, man. So shout out to everybody, man. Keep following us on these platforms. We go keep bringing you great content. And once again, man, shout out to our guest Quincy Boseman. We out.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, all I know is grind, I'ma go get it. Raise up in the gutter, but we all winners. Ain't no competition, barbecue dinner. Always pray to God, I won't be a quitter. Whenever there's a will,